Morning, everybody.
Morning.
We're coming to you again from Herman Park here in Houston, Texas. So in our last video, we talked to you that we let out our big surprise that we're actually going to stay here in Houston and complete the house that we just bought as our own. We're going to do a complete remodel. So now the next question is, are we going to keep our house in Queretaro or sell it? What are we going to do?
If we sell it, how long we gonna keep it to sell it? Or should we sell it? Maybe we keep it as a plan B. If we don't like the life in Houston, or we always can move back to our own house. Or just Airbnb it or lease it.
Yeah. So these are all decisions and questions that we have to come up with and decide what to do. So for those of you who don't remember, my name is Roddy, this is Landy, and with our son Louis, we moved to Queretaro, Mexico in 2021 and talk about our life as expats and how to retire early through real estate investing.
Yeah, for a lot of people, maybe you already seen our house. We bought a house in Mexico video, and we got many clicks. People love our house. They're very interested. What kind of house, what kind of price you're looking at buying a house in Mexico, Querétaro. So if you never seen that video, I can put the link in below.
So now the question is, what are the pros and cons, right? So if we decide to sell the house, what's good about it?
The pro, I think, is we can generate some cash in hand. And now we're in Houston, so we can invest with the money to buy another house to flip or buy a few rentals. We sit on the house. I know it's not the best time to flip in United States right now, but it's never be wrong to buy and hold if we could generate the good cash flow, still positive cash flow.
Right.
So,
and of course, once you have that money, we've mentioned this before, is that you can leverage that money. Right? Unlike Mexico, it's very hard to go to a bank and get a loan, or you're going to get it at even higher interest rate than here in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
So we can take that money and we can leverage it into multiple houses as compared to maybe just one house in Mexico.
right, and also, of course, you enjoy all the good tax benefits.
Yeah, so
Right.
those are good pros.
So the pros.
What about cons? I think one of the biggest cons would be because we just bought the house so recently and there's still so many houses being sold in the area of Zakia, we probably couldn't get the best price for the house. I think if we are lucky, we might be able to break even. If we're lucky, but even that, we may realistically, we may lose a little bit. So it may not be the best idea to take the money out now and either break even or lose. Of course, when you have real estate, you'd like to make a little bit of money.
Yeah.
But that would require us holding the house for maybe 2 to 3 more years. At least, right? To be able to kind of turn some kind of profit.
Yeah, because people don't think about it, those numbers. Once you sell the house, you need to pay the realtor, the commission, there's a closing cost, maybe there's some tax. If it generates a little bit of appreciation, you're going to pay the tax again. So in the end, what do you receive in the hand? Well, we may lost.
Right, probably.
Yeah,
and,
pretty positive.
And another con is the time on the market. Right, days on market in Mexico tend to be longer.
Yeah.
Again, especially if you're dealing in an area like where we live, where there's constantly new houses being built all the time. What's the incentive to buy our house as compared to a brand new house? So again, it may sit there for a longer time, and you may even have to drop the price to get people interested in your house. I think that's another big con.
Right. We may just lease it and still list the house for sale, put the price there, because our house is very rare. It does have a bigger backyard and does have a beautiful this countryside view with all the hills.
Right.
Right. It's very rare. You don't find this house again in our neighborhood, and they don't build it until a few years later.
Right.
That's
and it's also and there's a lot of apartments in our area, and there's a lot of houses that are kind of built on top of each other. Like even in our same neighborhood, there's houses, but there's one on the bottom and then 2 stories on top. So again, you have people all around you. Our house is more kind of separated. We have nobody above us. It is more of a townhome style. So again, that is something that you don't find as often in our area. So again, another little added bonus to our house.
Right.
But as we mentioned, another idea we have, of course, just like always, being real estate investors, is renting the house. Right? So again, pros and cons. Well, the pros obviously is cash flow. I think that's the number one pro for keeping the house. What else is a good?
Yeah, because we bought all the new appliance, includes the dishwasher.
Which again is pretty rare.
Very rare. Probably we're the only 1 or 2 in the whole neighborhood. And washer and dryer. It's very nice. Lots of people just hang clothes around. And we bought all the new furnitures so we can lease the house with furniture, because there are not so many houses or apartments with furnitures for lease. When we were looking for rental properties, it's very rare.
Right, especially in that area. You might maybe a little bit more as you get closer to the central. You tend to find them a little more. As you kind of move out, maybe you tend to find them a little bit less.
Yeah, it's good for if we lease to some expats moving to Mexico. They're not so sure how long they're going to stay in Querétaro or Mexico. Are they going to buy all the furniture and appliance? Yeah, the chance is small. So they prefer, like we did, we prefer to have a furnished place. So it's easier.
So on top of the cash flow, again, that allows us to hold our house a little bit longer and let it appreciate more for us to try to turn a profit a little bit later. So again, that's another big pro as far as holding a house. Again, we can actually make a little bit of money at the end on the sale, plus a little bit of cash flow as we wait for the house to appreciate.
Another pro we keep the house is just in case, as I mentioned, we don't like Houston or the United States. Again, we want to have an easier life or travel in Mexico a little bit more. We always have a place already settled in Querétaro. We can always move back.
True, because that's been our life the last few years. I mean, we're in one spot. We come to Houston. Okay, let's 5 years. Let's move. All right, let's go to Querétaro. We've been there 2 years. Okay, we found a house that we really like. I think just kind of thinking about that, we can be a little bit impulsive sometimes.
Right.
We see something we like and we jump on the opportunity.
Yeah.
And so who knows if that may present itself again, or we just don't like it and say, you know what, let's go back to Querétaro.
Right, we just sell the house in Houston. We just sell it, get some cash, and now we move to Mexico again. Maybe buy beach house or beach apartments. You never know. We're just crazy sometimes.
What about cons as far as renting?
Well, we talked to our realtor, and she mentioned that they need to have what's called the name, the
Póliza jurídica?
Yeah.
I might be saying that wrong.
Right, because we know in Mexico, it's a different country system, so it's more tenant favor.
Right. And so if you have that, what our realtor calls as the PJ, again, you are protected a little bit more to help get tenants out who may not be able to pay or to evict them, because if you don't have that document, then it becomes very difficult to kick them out.
Yeah, we don't want this headache.
And then just with any tenants, you always run into the possibility that they may ruin your property, right? You don't know. You hope for the best, but you have to be prepared for the worst.
Right.
Again, what might they do? Are they messy? Do they have kids who might write all over the walls or break things? You just don't know. So you have to be careful with that. And if they damage it, well, obviously you have to fix it at the end. So again, that will cost you more money to fix it.
I think we forgot another pro is in Mexico, all the maintenance is low when we talk about fixing things.
Yeah.
So that would be less maintenance cost, less tax. So compared to we have our rental in Houston area, maintenance cost a fortune.
Yeah.
So that's a good part, and the tax. So that's a pro.
Right. Going back to the pros, right?
Sorry.
Sure. No, it's a good pro. So it's definitely something worth mentioning. Tax and maintenance definitely cheaper in Mexico. Any other cons we can think about renting? They might dirty the property. I think that's pretty much it.
I think that's much because for rent it go fast, maybe 1 or 2 months, and we work with good realtor who work with the expat community. So we hopefully find some good family, maybe expat family living there like us, moving there for 1 or 2 years. It's perfect. They have a dishwasher. Right.
So these are the things we have to consider as far as what we want to do with our property in Mexico. So I think join us next time.
And another thing is,
maybe not.
Sorry. Another thing we also thought about, instead of long-term lease, maybe we could do Airbnb.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, to generate a little bit more income, more positive income.
Right. And I think real quick on the pros and cons. Obviously, the pro is a lot of times you can generate a little bit more cash flow. But the con is, if we were to do Airbnb, we'd be so new to it. It takes time to kind of build your reputation and to kind of get people into your apartment to be able to make money. So we'd actually probably have to take a loss at the beginning. Right? Or just make very little cash flow for the long term, higher cash flow. Right. So that's something we're willing to risk at the beginning.
Another thing is we could hire some management team to help me manage this Airbnb, but so far we don't know anyone are so familiar with Airbnb. We do know some realtors, but we're gonna do a good research. Are they good at, or do they have experience to manage some other people's Airbnb? I know in the United States, they're a management company, they charge 20%. So for beginners, it's a pro because you don't know what to do. You don't want to mess up, get some bad comments. So, but I don't know in the Mexico, in Querétaro, anyone we know.
All right. So again, these are things we have to consider, as I
Right.
mentioned. So again, join us next time. We'll come with you with a decision, what we decided to do with our property.
Yeah.
Right.
And what do you think?
Yeah, let us know.
If it's you.
Should we rent? Should we sell? Keep it as long-term, Airbnb? A lot of options, right? Let us know what you think in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.
Or
Right?
and anyone want to rent our place, also let us know. We have our email there.
I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.